Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, have I got quite the video for you today. What is Doomsday? When did it happen? How is it connected to this video's thumbnail? And most importantly, why should you care? By the end of this video, I'll have the answer, but I need to go through a bit of other information first. Also, I'm recording this video in Minecraft because I'm moving out of my college dorm today, so there's literally nowhere else to film. Forgive me, everyone. If you're a fan of stories with a lot of lore and world building like Welcome to Dream World, or you just like watching Minecraft streamers play on servers like the Dream SMP, I have got some fantastic news for you today. And if all of those words didn't make sense to you at all, let me take a minute to explain. Welcome to Dreamworld is a series here on my YouTube channel that uses a lot of analog horror tropes to tell a story. However, there's also a lot of hidden lore in the world building of each episode, including secret codes, backwards messages, and even an ARG website with more information to explore. I'm bringing this up for two reasons. One, I want to mention Welcome to Dreamworld in this video so I can convince more people to watch it, because it's very obvious that a majority of my audience only watches Dreamworld videos, so I want them to check this one out. This video is very important to me, and I want everyone to see it, even if that means my comment section might strangle me a little bit. Besides, I promised a friend of mine that I'd clickbait you guys, so now I gotta keep my promise. The second reason that I'm mentioning this series is because if you're a fan of that story, you're probably going to be a fan of Loop SMP. Speaking of SMPs, the Dream SMP is probably something that all of you are at least remotely aware of by now, especially if you've been paying attention to my content at all recently. It's basically a Minecraft roleplay server where people stream together, and that's what we'll be discussing today. With that introduction out of the way, let's get into the main subject of this video. It's no secret that bigger SMP servers have been slowing down recently, with all of their main cast members too busy with their personal lives and other projects to make new lore or story events in their live streams. The Dream SMP is a prime example, because we haven't really gotten any major lore moments on the SMP since, I don't know how long ago, but I'll put it on screen now, whenever that thing with Tubbo happened. And it's one of the biggest servers in the entire world. It's kind of a bummer to see it slowly fading out of relevance because of this, but don't worry everyone, I have a solution. I cannot save the Dream SMP's dying storyline, especially since I've already been trying to join the server for 15 months and have made zero progress, but I can offer you something better. Something super cool and fun. For you see, while the Dream SMP is slowing down and you're waiting for the next episode of Welcome to Dreamworld, you will have plenty of time to watch the Loop SMP instead. If you haven't clicked off this video yet, you're probably about to do it now, but don't. You gotta let me explain the plot first, and you can leave after I'm done. You just can't interrupt me like that, man. It's rude. The Loop SMP is a server where a group of people come together to build a new town, appropriately titled Town Town, only to discover that they've all been trapped inside of a time loop here for thousands of years. The gods can't do anything to help them, everyone is scrambling to keep their lives together while the world falls apart, and Doomsday is slowly approaching on the horizon. Doomsday is the name for any server-wide disaster events that cause so much death and destruction that the time loop resets itself back to the start of the town. When there is only one person left standing in the overworld, the loop reset occurs. The story starts out very simple, just a small town of people learning to get along and becoming friends. Rain wants to build a great nation like the ones in their history books, but the town's mayor, Ghostie, thinks that they might be getting a bit too ambitious. Del claims to be human, despite looking like a walking cryptid, all while Lemon and Coco think it's a great idea to steal from everyone on the server. Time is a mystery in general, everyone is very confused, and the gods' only contribution involves throwing a fish into the center of the town and asking Rain who the hottest Muppet is. However, as the time loop begins to bring more people and locations into the mix, everything rapidly devolves into chaos. Rain is running around trying to save everyone from the time loop. Lemon almost starts a small-scaled war a few times. Ghostie ends up going to jail in the Arctic with Rain's supervillain ghost named Void. Bibble constantly shows off his shrine of Spinel ship art. Star puts mushrooms everywhere to promote their weird cult. And everything gets so bad that God literally just leaves for months at a time. We've now gotten to the point where the time loop is breaking so badly that mysterious cracks made of crying obsidian have begun to appear all over the server. And now Doomsday has happened in the most recent stream, so everyone is probably doomed. If you couldn't guess that from the title of the day. There's an official playlist with almost every stream uploaded to YouTube, mostly from my character's perspective because I try to stream at least once a week, and it's still technically my server, so of course I'm extremely dedicated to it. But what if you want an easy way to catch up on the entire storyline so you don't miss anything before the next stream? Don't worry, we got you covered. There's a video recap that goes through most of the major lore, and then you can begin to read my Google Documents written version of the summary to continue where the video recap leaves off. If you want something shorter, there's also a few animatics and fan art you could look at to get the basic idea. If that hasn't already gotten you hooked, allow me to briefly explain a few members of the charming Loop SMP cast, with summaries written by the creators behind each character. Also, I've never read any of these character summaries before, except for my own, so I'll be reading them for the first time on this recording with you guys. I'll even include a little face cam reaction right here. Say hi to Guy. Guy's in the background. Hi, Guy. Also, I'm reading the text from my monitor on this side of the screen, so just ignore the fact that I'm not looking at the audience. We can look past it. Rain is essentially an Ender Dragon corpse built into a robot suit, but they're also such a massive dweeb that their weird magical abilities provide no actual threat to anyone whatsoever. They're a 7-foot-tall history geek that's been ruling over the End as a very socially anxious prince, driving themselves mad trying to free their loved ones from a time loop, and now hosting 2 other spirits that possess their body like it's a haunted house. The worst of these 2 ghosts is Void, who is essentially a supervillain that the loop made by accident, but now he's just a touch-deprived edgelord with daddy issues. Now that was just the summary that I wrote, but I cannot wait to see all of the incredibly enriching summaries that all of the other Loop SMP members must have written about their characters. Oh boy! Flynn is just a Technoblade Kinney, but they do not know that they are a Kinney, nor what a Kinney is. We're off to a great start. He's got 2 partners who they are married to. I'm one of them. And likes to look at old shit and grave rob. That's accurate. Veli is an awkwardly Enderman. I'm going to assume that might have been a typo. He's got 2 husbands and a whole lot of trauma. He enjoys exploring and finding old shit with Flynn. We're off to a pretty good start. This is nice so far. Ghostie is an ex-soldier and former resident of the Nether who's so full of trauma that she got pink hair and pronouns. On top of this, Ghostie constantly gets beat up by the world around her, but she loves her friends and family, particularly her adopted brother Rain and her not-quite-child Star. She's a mild freak of nature with big ol' eyes, but she generally means well and supports the Loop's residents. Nice. Star is a size-changing demon and an ex-cult member of a mushroom religion with some very concerning core values. They are the youngest member of Town and also the mayor, because while only a teen, they are the only citizen with job experience. Get ready to open your heart to this lovable creature who has possibly eaten several people. Del is a human. Nobody believes him. Just kidding, that's not his character summary. Here's the real one. When you look at Del, there's probably 1,000,001 species that you could guess that he is, and yet, the man claims to be human. Not like anybody really believes him. He looks like that, after all. 3 eyes, antlers, claws, can drink liquids just by laying in them like some sort of a cursed sponge. But despite how much of a local freak he presents himself as, there's always that, hopefully single, heart of gold that he has. For a second, I thought that the summary meant that Del was going to be single forever and never date anyone. I forgot that he could literally just have multiple organs. Oh. Glades is an incredibly traumatized former mother and woman. She's lost all of her biological children, and the ones she sees as her own in the Loop have their own set of issues. She hates God and has spited them a many times while also clinging to shallow faith. She was also a normal human girl at some goddamn point in time. She's also Greek. Very cool, Glades. Bibble is a dipsomaniac wither skeleton standing at roughly 6'5" and most of the hours of the day seen wearing his pastel pink suit along with a white mask. He presents himself as an egocentric loudmouth guy styled to the 1950s. Not many know how his brain works or what's gonna come out of his mouth. Not even him. Antoine is Victor Frankenstein, but successful. Except for when he was discovered to be conducting experiments on live humans, so he hightailed it before the law caught him. He does what he does to expand on his own selfish desires and interests for science. Nice. Lemon is a cow hybrid jester from the Middle Ages living in a big castle. They have issues. That's the shortest summary anyone wrote. I applaud you. I applaud you for your brevity. You're better than all of us. Coco is a demon Coco is a demon cat boy with more trust issues than a queer in Texas. If you ask him, growing up orphan in the woods is a pretty healthy way of life. Nice. Again. Leaf is a jackalope creature abomination thing who managed to survive to the ripe age of 16 without having a brain in their skull. They love their family, but love eating bedsheets and their yellow bandana more. That's got to smell like rotting trash by now since they never take it out. They also have major parental issues with both of their current ones and their now non-existent biological ones. Ooh. Rat is a giant fucking rat from space. He is just a regular guy. Rat likes pancakes and does not recognize the bodies in the shipwrecks. Fun! When you look at Corvid, an immediate reaction may be, who are you? How did you get inside my house? But we promise he's just a gentle giant with no concept of human customs or formalities. If you've spent the last, say, 1,000 years or so watching the only people you've ever seen seemingly repeat themselves day after day in an endless cycle, forgetting you even if you've been lifelong friends with them, and you slowly start to waste away, becoming a recluse in a nearby forest, always watching a life you'll never get to live, surely you'd be a little ill-mannered too. Fun! Nothing a bit more of meaningless socialization that only you will remember while everyone else slips into the same repetitive cycle that only you can see can't help. Woo! Last but not least, God themselves. Morrigan is a narcissistic fairy god with a tendency to cause problems. I can confirm that firsthand, be it on purpose or not. But don't worry, guys, their story is actually a lot more fucked up and sad than you'd think, so it's totally okay that they've tried to murder everyone at least once. They also have chronic back pain and a tendency to adopt too many damn kids, and in the spirit of being a father, they constantly go out to buy milk and don't return for many months. This is why we're still stuck in the time loop, guys. God keeps going to get milk and we can't get out. That isn't every character on the server, but those are the people who sent me their character summaries for this video, so I hope you liked it anyway. That's pretty much everything that I had planned for this video, so I guess we're done here. I wanted to upload something related to Loop SMP today because I'm not able to stream this weekend, because I'm moving out of college for summer break. And I also wanted to promote the server because we just had the first Doomsday event, and it would mean a lot to all of us if you'd show our story some love. If you're still watching right now, I hope that this video may have convinced you to give Loop SMP a shot. Have a good night, everyone. Next time you see me, I'll be home for summer break.